This is from none other than great Spider-Man. Can anyone tell me which is the most popular dialogue of the first Spider-Man movie? Yeah, please. Exactly. Yeah, so this is great responsibility, yeah? Can anyone explain what does this mean? With great power comes great responsibility. If I had to tell you, the constitution of our country entitles each one of us to stand for the highest position of the country. That is, each one of us can become the president, the vice president, the prime minister. It solely depends on our talent, our skills, how hard we work to strive what we want to. So obviously it's great power to stand for the prime minister post. Now along with that, they also expect us to have certain responsibilities which we need to fulfill. As in, you need to be an aware citizen, a vigilant citizen, you need to see to it that you do not get into any criminal offenses, and so on. So this is what it means. Now why is it important for us? We'll tweak few words here. Let's say instead of power, we use rights, which is more or less the synonym of it. And responsibility, we put in duties. Now this is what we need to understand. Each one of us have this set of rights and duties that comes not only through the constitution, but we as a human being, it directly is with us. As we are born, not in an animal, but as a human being, we need to understand that you don't have just a set of rights, but also duties. Now, for example, you have the right to clarify a doubt. If you have any query, you can ask me that, you can explain me again. Or if you're not able to understand what I'm explaining. But you also have a duty to pay attention, to listen to what I'm saying. It's not that you lay down your head and you take a nap and suddenly you get up and say, okay, explain me this. So understand, no matter what you do, today you're a student and tomorrow you're going to pass out of school, college, and once you get your job, wherever you go, duties and rights follow you. And also we need to understand that this is a single, they come together. There are different entities, the meanings are different of both rights and duties, but they have to always be looked together. You cannot say that one person has only a set of rights or another person has only a set of duties. So it has to be seen together. If we have to take an example, let's say once we turn the age of 18, when you have the rights to ride a bike, you get the right to get a license. That is, if you know riding. So you apply for a license because you have the right. So you get a license, now you have a bike, you ride the bike. Along with that, again, there are duties that you do not violate the traffic rules, as simple as that. You do not bump into other vehicles. One more thing that is important is when you need to know that in our process of claiming our rights, you do not infringe upon others' rights. Everybody has got the right and everybody needs to enjoy their rights, to exercise their rights. So let's say if you are driving a car today, it's your right to drive it, but you cannot park it in the middle of the road so that other person also can use the right to use the road. So this is most important for all of us. All of us have rights, all of us need to share them. Yeah? So this is about duties and rights, that is responsibilities and power, as we have earlier said. Can anyone tell me what is civic sense, please? Now rules and laws are all prescribed. It's all there in the book. It's wherever we go, they are. Let's say the constitution says it, the Indian Penal Code says it. Civic sense is unwritten. It's more or less like common sense. Now, for example, if I have to punch the wall, let's say I go about doing that, my common sense tells me don't do that, you're going to hurt yourself. Same thing applies with civic sense. Nobody is going to come and tell you every time that don't do this, this is right and this is wrong. As a human being, you have this thinking power and you need to understand what you're doing is right or wrong. So that is civic sense. Another example that we can take is, one major difference is, let's say you spit on the Indian road here in India. That's, if you have good civic sense, you will tell that you don't have to do that. While you do that in Singapore, you'll be penalized. And oh boy, you'll be so highly penalized that you'll have no saliva in your mouth to spit ever again in the world. So the difference, what I'm trying to point out is, in India, it is not a law that you spit and you'll be penalized, but in Singapore it is. So it is upon us to understand that what is not prescribed, we as human beings have to differentiate that no, just because it is not written, doesn't mean that you can do anything. You can go around doing anything. So what is not written, unwritten norms, is civic sense. And how do we have this sense of, doing good to the society or not harming the society? For that, we'll take quotation from another, I'll say, superhero, who is, Spider-Man was a fiction, but this is real heroes. I'll take a quotation from Mahatma Gandhi. He said that moral will is the strongest force on earth. It is stronger than all the police and all the armies of the world put together. So we are going to talk about moral will. This comes with our birth. It is always telling you what you're doing is not right, you shouldn't do it that way, but you just leave it unheard. So we can say that civic sense cannot be followed because there are no stringent laws applying, or nobody is going to punish you for what you do. But when you have this, when you listen to this, you're not going to do any wrong any which ways. Let's say as students, now we can lie about to our parents, we can shut yourself in a room and say that I'm studying, while you'll be just lying around and not doing anything. But there is something that tells you that no, exams are coming by and you need to study. So what I mean to say, what we need to imply here is, apart from looking at the police administration and anybody coming down to scrutinize and see what you're doing, what you're not doing, you need to have your moral will strong, you need to have your concerns, you need to listen to it and be a good citizen to the society. An example of this can be like once you're done with your school, you're walking back home, you buy a bag of potato chips and you have it and then you throw the bag, you litter it on the road. Now you need to realize that tomorrow probably a frail woman is going to come with a broom and clean the streets because that's what her job is. So we are not overburdening any other person just by something that we should be doing, we are not doing. Now she'll have to bend down and take that bag of potato chips that you have thrown. So once you understand that, once you have this, as he had pointed out, that you have this sense of belonging to your community, you know that no, this road also belongs to me, I should not litter, I should not dirty it. That is what your conscience tells you and that is what we all need to follow. Also, it is said that we are the best keepers of our conscience. That is, it's a watchdog. It tells us what you're doing is wrong. So nobody can come down and tell you that everything that you're doing is right or not wrong. Now we are all in 8th standard, so we have this enough intelligence to know what we are doing is right or wrong. So your moral will is also your watchdog, and always listen to it. Give some time to yourself, introspect, know what you're doing, how you're doing, whether it's right or it's not up to the mark, how you can be from a citizen to an aware citizen and then an active citizen. That's what we need to know. Yep. Okay. And when I say that we need to be an active citizen, also know that unless and until we as citizens do not take care of our surrounding, our locality, our city in large, nothing is going to help us. I mean, the most inefficient government, the most corrupted or lethargic government will not do as much harm as an unaware citizen or an inactive citizen does. Now, can I have a description of what citizenship is? We will take a smaller model as in our school. Now, let's say I'm teaching in Baldwin's, that's where I learned, so this is Baldwin School. Now, we call ourselves students of Baldwin School. We say that I belong to Baldwin School. So much so we sometimes say this is my school. Now, as she had pointed out, this sense of belonging is what citizenship gives us. Now, in a school, it's your admission card. Once you're admitted to a school, you become a part of the school. Similar ways, nation also or the state also works in this way, but we'll understand, as I said, in form of a school. Now, what happens is when we were kids, we were enrolled into a school by our parents. We joined the school, and now once you join the school, the fees was paid, the formalities were done, so you are a member of the school now. You have the rights to attend the classes. You have the rights to use the playground, the library, all the amenities that the school provides. Now, along with that rights, there are also duties, as we had earlier said. Now, what are these duties? You need to attend the classes, you need to study, you need to clear your exams. You can't say just because I'm like admitted to the school now, every year I'll sit here for about a year and then you push me to standard 8. You'll have to study, you'll have to clear your exams. Similar manner, a nation also provides citizenships to its people. When you're born as a human being, but only when a nation identifies you as a member of the country, as a citizen, you are a formal Indian or you are a formal American. You're like formally known that, okay, you belong to this country. Now, once citizenship is acquired by a person, there are a set of rights and duties. As I said, they always follow you no matter where you are. So you get these rights, you get these duties. Until and unless you're not a citizen, that is, you're not given the citizenship, you are an alien to say so. You're an immigrant, but you're an alien because nobody recognizes you. So there is loss of identity. You don't know which country you belong to. No country has accepted you. So you lose all the privileges that the country provides. You lose all the security that the nation provides. Thus, it is important for each one of us to have citizenship. Yeah. Now, while giving citizenship, every nation you get the rights, but it also expects you to fulfill certain duties, the obligations you have towards a nation. Like we had read the fundamental duties, serve our nation and then bring in harmony, the brotherhood of all our men and women, that is all the nation, the people of the nation. So, yeah, this is in short, citizenship is the country giving you the recognition that being a member of, you're the member of our country. Now, I need you to know that India is a federal unity, that is, we have dual polity of both center and state. Yet, we get only single citizenship. Now, unlike USA or Switzerland, they have dual citizenship. You are a citizen of the state, of one of the US states, let's say California, and you're also a citizen of the country in large, that is United States of America. But India gives only one. So why have they done is, today we say that you're from Karnataka, I'm from Rajasthan and all, but we are Indians and the nation wants us to remember this all the time. Not the nation, the constitution when it was framed, the people who framed the constitution, our freedom struggle, during the independence, the main idea was that even though this was different states that had congregated together and a nation was formed, today we stand as India. So the single citizenship means that no matter which part of country you reside in, you're equal from the person who stays in the north to the person who stays in the down bottom. Yeah, now the textbook has few points, the criteria by which you get your citizenship. Like there is a natural, one is natural, that is by birth. Once you're born in India to Indian parents, you are an Indian citizen. Second is by descent, that is if your father is of Indian origin at the time of your birth, again you get the citizenship. Livability. Now livability means improving the quality of life or having a standard quality of life, and then having all the requirements that are needed for, let's say, happy survival of human beings together, to put it that way. Now when you put this in a city, how is the city more livable or less livable? Now a city is by default a city once there is a population of, let's say, 1 lakh people in it. If it has a smaller area demography wise, it's a city. Now how do we make it a livable city, or let's say in the later time, in the last stage, an ideal city? What are the things that we need? So if you put it in like few pointers, you can say you need good drinking supply, water supply, you need good transportation, electricity, and all that we have been knowing what is in the city. Now, here we'll have to look in depth as to how we make it the best. Now, when you talk about water supply, it isn't just that there is water supply in the city. There's just one term, it's very vague kind of, I'm like, water is there in the city. We need to see whether the water here is clean enough or not. Is it potable enough for us to use? Secondly, is it equally supplied to all the areas of the city? Saying that there is water supply in the city does not suffice again. So in water supply, you have this few points. Like I said, clean water, and then well supplied, and then there is constant supply. Okay, so these are, let's say I make these points 1, 2, 3. Now what we are going to tell children, the most important thing here is, also there should not be wastage of water. So till now we were talking about what a city should be like. What kind of city we dream or we desire, as the topic says. Now here this point would stress on what you can do to make it a livable city. Not what the government does, not what the administration does, or what governance is all about. So only when it tries to say that the administration is good, are citizens also equally good or not? Now they are supplying plenty of water, but if you keep wasting them, just like we had spoken about not wasting your resources, if you keep wasting them, it's never going to be a livable city. It's never going to reach to that ideal of having, the best city. So here we are telling the children that the role does not end with the government alone. Like another quote, Abraham Lincoln said that don't ask what the government has done for you, rather ask what you have done for your government. So keeping that in mind, you ask yourselves, how good have you been? We understand that you're children, you may say, sir, we are just children. What can we do? But in your own daily routine, in whatever you do, coming to school, going back, there are a lot of changes you can bring in. Firstly in your lives, and then lives of your friends, your immediate family.